Despite Andros Townsend copying his celebration after scoring a goal that cost his team 3 points, Cristiano Ronaldo still gave up his shirt to him. No matter how fierce a competitor he is, CR7 is a true gentleman on and off the pitch. And this isn't the first time that Ronaldo has done something special for his former opponents. Number 1. Andres Pereira. If you haven't heard this story before, that means you haven't checked out the interview we did with Andres Pereira earlier this year. Make sure you watch that after this video. During the interview, Andres spoke about playing against Cristiano and asking for his shirt.
I say, Chris, can I have your shirt? And he looked at me and he said, yeah, of course.
The game didn't go well for Ronaldo and Juventus, with the score finishing 1-1. Frustrated with his performance, Ronaldo stormed down the tunnel, leaving Andreas without the shirt. But he wouldn't be left waiting for long.
Then when I went inside, I was speaking with Alexandro, and after he came out and he said no, here's your shirt, I didn't forget about it.
Number 2, Marcus Rashford. It's crazy to think that CR7 and Marcus Rashford are now teammates. But before they were teammates, Rashford was simply a fan of Ronaldo. From his free kicks and dribbling style to even how he conducts himself off the pitch, it is clear to see where the Englishman takes his inspiration from his idol. That must have made it all the more special when Rashford received some special gifts from Ronaldo. Back in 2018, Rashford posted pictures to Instagram, thanking the Portuguese star for the gifts he had sent him. These included brand new Nike trainers and a signed shirt. I'm sure now there will be plenty more where that came from. Number 3, Emmanuel Gyasi. Ronaldo's impact in football is so strong that he is often the idol for his opponents. For Ghanaian striker Emmanuel Gyasi, one of his biggest dreams was to share the same pitch as CR7. His dream came true after securing a move to Italian side Spezia. Despite losing 4-1 in his first meeting against his hero, Gyasi was proud to have the opportunity to speak to Ronaldo. He asked for Ronaldo's shirt, but on this occasion, he wasn't able to get it. Ronaldo would remember this, however. When the two faced each other again, Gyasi was shocked to find that he hadn't been forgotten. In the second game, before we started the game, he just came to me and said, "Gyasi, how are you?" I was shocked. He remembered me. During the game, he was nervous because in the first half, we, Spezia, played very well, and it was 0-0. He had hit the crossbar, and I saw him run into the tunnel after the first half. So I thought I was not going to get the jersey, but I saw him waiting for me in my dressing room, and I was shocked. Number 4, Fernando Ricksen. You may not have heard of Fernando Ricksen before, but you'll definitely want to hear this story. Ricksen was a Dutch footballer who had quite a successful career, playing for teams such as AZ Alkmaar, Rangers, and Zenit St. Petersburg. He was also featured 12 times for the national side. He retired in 2013, and shortly after, he became seriously ill. He was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, a condition that impacts the brain and nerves and does not have a cure. Ricksen set up a charity in order to help fund research into the disease, which raised over 1 million euros. A big fan of Ronaldo, Ricksen was invited by the superstar to attend a game at the Bernabeu. Following the game, Ronaldo stayed behind to take a picture with Ricksen and his family, and he even gifted his match-worn shirt to Ricksen's young daughter, proving that small acts of kindness can make a world of difference. Sadly, Ricksen lost his battle with motor neuron disease in 2019. May he rest in peace. Number 5, Memphis Depay. Sometimes a gesture doesn't have to be an expensive gift. Sometimes it can just be some supportive words. That is the case when it comes to Memphis Depay, who may have received one of the biggest compliments possible from CR7. While promoting his new movie in 2015, Ronaldo was asked who he thought were the bright young stars of the future. Among his answers was Memphis. At the time of the interview, Memphis had just joined CR7's former team, Manchester United. He started by showing some promising performances, but things soon turned sour and he was sold to Lyon less than 3 years later. This might make Ronaldo's prediction seem a little bit silly. However, all was not lost for the Dutch winger. He managed to pick himself back up while in France and became one of Europe's hottest properties once again. He now finds himself as the superstar attacker at one of Ronaldo's former rivals, FC Barcelona. Talk about a whirlwind of a career. Number 6, Edinson Cavani. It's much easier to be a good person when you're winning and things are going well. But a very good person is the same when he's losing. For all the things Ronaldo has achieved in his career, The World Cup is the one trophy he hasn't got his hands on. He had every reason to feel confident in 2018, with Portugal having just won the European Championships 2 years earlier. However, Portugal found themselves behind in the first knockout round to Uruguay. With just 20 minutes left, time was running out. To make matters more frustrating, Uruguayan star Edinson Cavani went down with an injury. At this point, you would expect the Portuguese players to be getting angry. Some may have been considering dragging Cavani off themselves. Ronaldo was not one of them. In a great show of sportsmanship, Ronaldo helped Cavani limp off the pitch. Despite losing the game, that moment went viral and arguably helped CR7's reputation more than winning would have done. It seems as though Cavani has not forgotten that moment either. He was quick to return the favor when Ronaldo returned to Manchester United. Cavani willingly gave up the number 7 shirt, just so Ronaldo could take it back. Game recognizes game. Number 7, Sessegnon. When Ronaldo scores a goal, we all know what's coming next. At this point, Ronaldo's celebration has become as synonymous as his success. Fans loudly copy the Portuguese star's famous war cry every time he scores. But it's important to remember, not all of his fans are sat in the stands watching. Sometimes they're playing against him. One such moment came during a preseason game in 2019. Juventus traveled to Asia on their preseason tour and played in a game against the K-League All-Stars. This was a team comprised of the best players from the top teams in Korea. During the game, Brazilian forward Sessegnon scored a goal to give the All-Stars a shock lead. He celebrated in a familiar fashion, copying CR7's celebration, while Ronaldo sat on the bench. At first, Ronaldo didn't seem too impressed, so Sessegnon made sure to let him know it was not out of disrespect. I saw at the time he was kind of upset, but I went there and I bowed to him so he could see that it wasn't offensive. Later, I asked for his shirt. Right, yes, for sure. He understood, and I said how much I was his fan, that he was my idol, and that day was a dream come true. Number 8, Jorge Mendes. Okay, so technically this one isn't an opponent, but it is too good not to include. Jorge Mendes is one of the biggest football agents in the world. Some of his clients include Bernardo Silva, Fabinho, half of the Wolves team. But his biggest client by far is none other than CR7 himself. The two share more than just a player-agent relationship, though. In fact, Mendes is one of CR7's closest friends. This was proven when it was revealed that Ronaldo was the best man at Mendes' wedding. Can you imagine CR7 organizing your bachelor party? Some five-a-side, maybe a crossbar challenge? Ronaldo being the best man wasn't the most shocking part. It was the wedding gift he gave his agent. What could it have been? A new car? A trophy from his collection? Not quite. Instead, Ronaldo bought Mendes a Greek island. The island was reported to have cost Ronaldo 50 million euros. I wish I had more friends like Cristiano.